this is Naya Rain's YouTube channel and we're back with another video. As you can see from the title, today we will be doing the dark roots. This is a look that I did for my birthday and I love the outcome and I hope you all do too. So for this install, I am using a 30-inch 613 frontal wig. It is 13 by 4. I got it from my vendor. The knots are very small and the lace is very much so HD. I love the look and the hair was great for the most part. So, look, I'm dropping stuff. So, I was using the Wella charms. So, we're going to pause this. As you can see, I have two Wella charm toners. The one on the left is the T28, which was to give the ash blonde look. And the 4NW was for the dark roots. Now, when I did the dark roots on the frontal, when I rinsed it out, it seeped onto the rest of the hair and it gave it an ash blonde effect. So, I did not use the T28, which is on the left. I only used what was on the right. So that's why in the video you'll probably like, well, what happened to the other one? That's what happened. And I used a 30 volume developer because I didn't need it to process that fast. You could do 20 or 10 if you are not as confident. But since I know what I'm doing, I did 30. 40 or 50 really wasn't necessary. So I'm opening up the box and I'm showing you all the bottle. Trying to show you how it looks when you take it out. And one thing I'm going to stress to you all, which is very important when using Wella charms, is to read the manufacturer's instructions, okay? And you're going to see why when I get into the video later. But here you see that I am parting out the hair and putting it into the section that I wanted to. I was basically just separating the hair that was on the frontal from like the hair that was on the rest of the wig, because I did not make this frontal wig. The vendor did. They sent it straight from the warehouse, took it right out the pack, and I got to go into work. So I just want to make sure everything isn't messy. Honestly, when I do the dark roots, putting it out throughout the frontal isn't necessary. I mean, throughout the wig, but putting it throughout the frontal, like the hair that's on the lace, yes, of course. But honestly, you do not have to put this on the roots throughout the whole wig, because you're just gonna waste your time, your product, and your sanity. Because it's just not worth it, okay, y'all? I'm telling you, like, the outcome that you all gonna see when I install the wig in part 2, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, you were definitely right. Even when I get done with this, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, you were definitely right. This is what a lot of people are doing. So it's not just me. A lot of stylists do this. A lot of people do their own hair, do this. It's not necessary. I just want to keep stressing that to you, because I don't want y'all to go through that hassle. So I'm going to put a ponytail holder on the frontal part before I go and then put the ponytail holder on the back part. This is just to make sure no unnecessary or unwanted hairs is getting in the way of coloring, because it's going to frustrate you. I know it frustrates me a lot. Just make sure when doing this, you are staying like organized and making sure everything is done in a tedious way, because you are dealing with a toner. This isn't any regular type of semi-color, demi type of thing or rinse or nothing like that. Like, this is a toner. So I don't know how to get toners out of things, so I don't want y'all to be messed up because y'all can come back to this page trying to figure it out. So you all can't see, like, I wasn't going to try to show it on camera because it's going to be hard to see. But on here, it says to do a 2-to-1 ratio. Now, the number 2, we are referring to the developer, and number 1, we are referring to the Wella toner, which I just poured into the mixing bowl. That is the 1 part of the ratio. Now, the number 2 part is the developer. And you're going to see what I'm talking about. So if you don't have a scale at home or anything to measure anything, you can do this hack. So since I have already emptied the bottle of the Wella toner that had already came into the mixing bowl, I'm going to use this same bottle to fill up the other 2 parts of the developer, basically. So I'm going to fill this all the way to the top. I'm going slow because I don't want to make a mess. I don't want anything to overspill or overflow. I wanted to control it. And you do have to eyeball it to make sure it's not going in too fast. So once you have poured that into that bottle, you're going to empty it out into the mixing bowl along with the Wella toner that is already in there. And once you have emptied that out enough to your best ability, you're going to go back in. You're going to fill the bottle up again. And you're going to pour it back into the mixing bowl. So that gives you the 2 parts. This is to make sure like it mixes correctly, because when you start to mix the color, which I'm going to show you out later, you're going to see it turn the color that it's going to turn darker. It's so cool, y'all. Like, it's like a science project or something like that. But I didn't make the rules. Wella made the rules. So you just want to abide by it, because I'm pretty sure they're saying that for a reason. Like, don't do 101. Don't do a little bit. Don't do your own way. Do what they telling you when it comes to something like this. When it comes to this chemical. When it comes to chemicals, please listen to the manufacturer's instructions so that your style, your look, or whatever it is can come out accurately. So you see, this is how it looks before I mix it. And let me tell y'all something. I almost passed out when I was mixing this. This stuff is so strong. Like, it's stronger than when you mixing bleach to bleach the knots. Y'all see I'm moving away. Y'all see I'm moving away from the bowl because them fumes was getting me. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I got to mix it a little bit fast because I'm like, this is getting out of control. But I'm trying to mix it so you all can see the consistency and how it kind of changes. It still was like a watery consistency. So I don't know if I did something wrong, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. No, I didn't, because the thing itself was already liquidy. It was like water. And then, the developer ain't that thick. So it's just like, it really didn't do nothing as far as changing the consistency. So definitely be careful when you are using this. Like, make sure you are doing this in an area where floors are covered or anything valuable is covered up, because it will get messy. But that's how it looks. That's what I was talking about when I'm saying it's turning color. Like, it got to that dark color, which is giving you an idea of what the color may look like once it's transferred over onto the lace. So now that we have mixed things up, we're about to apply. Yes. Did you just see a eyelash/eyebrow spoolie in my hand? Yes, you did. Why did you see it? Because that is the best way to apply color to the roots of your lace. You know why? Of your hair, on your roots, on your lace. Y'all know what I mean. You know why? Because it does not stain the lace. We do not want to stain the lace. Now, disclaimer, I did stain the lace. But it's my lace. So that don't matter. I know I'm supposed to be setting a good example for y'all, but I'm sorry. When it comes to me, I don't know. I just don't put my all into it, which I need to. But when it comes to my clients, best believe baby, wasn't gonna be no stain. But it wasn't no bad stain. I literally just stained it like in the middle. So it really didn't affect me. Like, even with the install, it didn't affect me. But for sure. But as you can see, like right here in the beginning, I was like applying it very carefully. Then after a while, I was getting tired. I'm like, forget this. Then I had to remember, like, oh, this is my birthday wig, so I cannot mess this up. And like I said, this stuff don't come out. I tried to get it out. It could have come out. I don't know how to get it out. I don't know how to get out a stain from a toner. I know how to get out color, like a door and stuff like that, like a rinse. I can get that out, but this, no. But y'all, it turns colors real fast. So what I suggest when you do this, you should apply it to the front perimeter like I did. Like, you see, I went all across the front, and then I started to go in and part and go in, like, in between the sections. Like, I actually end up, because you just really want that front to process fast, if anything. Also, I do not have no inches of measurement of where you should stop at. You know how roots look. Just go with the flow. Like, I literally, like, as you can see, I'm literally just applying it on there, and I'm pulling out my fingers, all type of stuff. I'm literally just applying it on there until, like, whatever the product was wearing off it. Like, I just applied as much as I could, and once it wore off, it wore off. Like, I didn't even place it. I did not measure it. I just did it. I did it effortlessly, because by it being like just a dark roots look, when you get your roots colors, it's not going to be no straight line across, because you need to create that line of demarcation. So by me using the spoolie and everything to apply it, it helped me to create that line of demarcation. And basically, the line of demarcation is, when someone applies color to something and it's like a straight line across, so you be like, okay, that look ugly. Like, why is it a straight line? Like, say somebody try to do ombre. We know ombre is supposed to flow from one color to another, like a gradient flow. And somebody just do it straight across, it looks ugly. So when you're doing a line of demarcation, say with like an application brush or with a spoolie, it just gives like that. Like, you can see it right here at the roots. It just gives that natural, like, it's not a straight line across. Like, it's flowing. It's flowing. Like, on each strand, it's flowing in a different way. And that's what you want to go for. But like I said, this stuff does transfer on, like, good. The color goes on quick. I'm glad that it came out like this. I really did not want the chocolate look. I kind of hate the chocolate look. I like it on other people and other skin tones, but I feel like personally for my skin tone, it was the chocolate rouge with the ash blonde really wasn't gonna hit for me. Like, it wasn't gonna hit as hard as this did. Like, it really gave me, and I'm not trying to be like ignorant or anything, but it really gave me like a Caucasian look. Like, you know how when like Caucasians, like if they're a brunette and they go get their hair bleached or highlighted, whatever the case may be. What color am I trying to use? I mean, what name am I trying to use? Bleach, they get their hair lightened. And it starts to grow out. That's what it looks like. That's what it looked like for me, and that was the look I was going for, and I wanted that, and I love that for myself. I'm up here talking y'all ears off, but are y'all enjoying it? Like, are y'all getting what I'm saying? I'm just trying to give y'all insight. But yes, back to the original thought, because I done got off track. The spoolie helps with avoiding the line of demarcation. But as you can see where like I kind of stained the lace, but it's okay. I promise you, it did not affect me, and it really didn't affect me because I literally just stained it in the inside. It's not like I went in front of the hairline and stained the whole lace, which will have messed up my whole install. It was literally just like within the roots, so I could have cut that up with some little makeup. It wasn't nothing. It wasn't nothing to a player. So I was pretty much done applying everything. I made sure stuff was saturated, but I didn't really try to press my hand into it too much because I didn't want it to seep through. I put the shower cap on because I wanted to just make sure that it processed, since this was not a human head. Like, if you were to put this on a human head, the natural heat from my scalp would have easily processed this better. But I just put the cap on there just to keep it in I guess, trap in something. So I had already went in and plucked it, but look at it right there. It's literally giving scalp after I plucked it. I had applied mousse onto the lace. So that's a trick I like to do. I definitely am going to give y'all a plucking tutorial. So I'm not going to leave y'all in the dark. Y'all not finna just be wondering like how I just get it to the like scalp and everything. But I'm just going to tell y'all, like, after I pluck my lace, I like to apply mousse to the hairline. Like, you see how I'm combing it back. Of course, it would be heavily saturated, but at that point, I think I done combed it all in. And then I would either let it just air dry or put it under the dryer. I always would put it under the dryer if I'm at the salon doing a client hair. But since I be at home, I don't have a hair dryer, so I just let it sit and air dry. I just feel like the mousse gives it this firmness. Like, when you get to hot combing and styling, give it that firmness in the styling without having to use a lot of wax, like the wax stick, or a lot of holding spray. It already kind of gives it that hold right off back. So I am going to show you all just how I do a little bit of plucking. So as you can see, I did part the hair down the middle. Like, when you are styling your client, ask them if they want a middle part or a side part. If they want a middle part, try to part the closure of the frontal straight down the middle as much as you can, and pluck on each side because you don't want to pluck in the middle. So I like to, so as you see, I sectioned off that front part and pushed it forward. And I started working in the back of the lace or the middle of the lace. This is to ensure that you are getting it as scalpish as possible. Like, just plucking that first row ain't enough for me, because if you pluck that first row, say if something happened, like, you know how frontal shed and stuff like that, and you want to cut some more lace back, or the client want to go home and do that again or something, you got all that thick hair behind that thin front perimeter of the hairline. Like, try to get in there. And it also helps for those like who get a lace that has a lot of density. And when I mean by like high density or a lot of density, it's a lot of hair on that lace, so it be thick. This is to help thin it out, to avoid any thickness, or when the product wear off, the hair get all poofy and thick and crazy at the top. No, this is going to prevent it. So you start from the back and you work your way to the front. So like I said, after I get done plucking, I go in with some type of foam. I like to use Nairobi or Lottie Body. That was not neither one of those products. It was something that I was testing out. But that, like I said, you do that. You can put it under the dryer or you can let it air dry. And as you can see, the part I was talking about when I said that the rest of the hair had turned ash blonde after I had rinsed it out, it just worked out for me. But nonetheless, that is the end of this video. I just wanted to teach you all how to color some roots, what not to do and what to do. Like for part 2 for the install. I cannot wait for y'all to see the install. I done already recorded it. I'm too thirsty. I wish I could have did a birthday vlog, I'm sorry, but things happen. But I promise to update y'all on that. But thank you for tuning in. Thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Also, share this video because If it helped you out, help somebody else out. Thank you for tuning in. Bye. I love y'all.